Heating Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
8, 12 and 3/4.
You could have hit the 30, you know.
No, I was 1 second short, and no, not gonna do it. Eight 13 on the nose. How about that? Is that
right.
better?
Ooh.
I'm good.
This is the 3rd day of November, Election Day, and if you think we're not going to be talking about that later on, well, you're kidding yourself.
Bob, run.
I know,
Run,
really.
Bob,
We
run.
have been waiting.
You're
for
going to, with some of those biased songs that you were playing in the last hour, you're going to be paying for it in the next hour.
Oh my God!
You
trying.
brought it upon yourself, Robert.
Kathy, I've been trying for the last day. I'm doing visualization. I'm saying my candidates every hour. I say blank blank is blank. Blank blank is blank.
Okay.
And so, yeah, as you all know, I mean, it's well, we actually have a James and I, or James and I have a great relationship. Kenny and I have a loving relationship, even though we are on different sides of the spectrum. And so I have been.
We're not ready to talk about this.
No. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's your show too. Now that I think,
Bob, you know how this goes by now.
All right, Jesus. All right. Excuse me. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, amen. Let's begin the rosary.
So you say ghost and not spirit?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you say the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit?
No,
I say ghost.
ghost.
I say Holy Ghost.
Ghost, but then I've been to other places when I actually believed in that stuff, and they said spirit, and it was just
Yeah, I think
weird.
it's the new one. The new thing is that the Holy Ghost has become the Holy Spirit.
It's the spirit.
Yeah. But we're stuck with ghost.
I'm ghost. I still say the old act of contrition every time.
Me
so.
too. Yeah.
And we are past Halloween, and it is still November 3rd in the year 2020 Anno Domini.
Oh, take charge, Ken. Go for it. Go for it, baby.
This is the den, Ken's den.
The views expressed by the host during his monologue are those solely of his own, not those of Westfield State University, the Radio Club, our underwriters, or anybody voting today, which pretty much covers everybody.
Ooh,
And
let's hope.
now,
The studio monitor has moved over too far, and I can't see Peter. That's
you wouldn't see
bothering
me anyways.
I usually catch you out of the corner of the glass.
Do you want me to move it?
No, I'll deal with it.
Okay.
I'll deal with it. Other than that, you know what, Pete?
What's going on, Ken?
I don't know how I'm able to sit here and do the show right now. First, somebody in here tell me if they think otherwise. But I know of no one now. No one that ever said, I like it getting dark at 4 p.m. I know. We started doing this for the farmers.
Yeah.
Well, the farmers now have incredible machines with floodlights. I just can't. Now that I'm working from home, do I have to put blue spectrum lamps into every room of my house? You know, when I used to drive to work, I needed to have one on my desk. Now do I put one of these bulbs in each overhead light fixture? And who is going to pay for this? The government shut us down. The government is the reason why my work shut down. The government is the reason why I am working at home. Is the government going to pay for these lamps? Somebody better come up with a solution soon, because you don't want a pissy Kenny hanging out here in the studio. And don't even get me going with the temperatures going down, okay? That is a monologue for next week, which I already started. Yesterday, Tal Duvall said, if you're now out in public, you must mask up. Sig High! When you read the order, it states public roads and ways. If you're not in compliance, your wallet will be punished. Sig High. And they have tattletale phone lines set up so you can narc on your neighbors. Now, wait a minute. Public roads and ways. ways or sidewalks. If you're walking by yourself on a sidewalk and no one else is in sight, you must comply. Let's go further. If you take your trash out to the tree belt, you need to cross the sidewalk. I am not masking up to roll my recyclables out to the road because there's a sidewalk there. Report me. Please take a picture of me. I always roll it out between 10 and 11 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. Park your car in front of my house. We're going to need therapy soon, Bob.
Oh, more money in the coffers.
And to top it all off, it is election day. And we will not have a concrete answer tomorrow morning. You know, do I even bother coming into my post-election 1 hour special tomorrow morning? Nah, I'm not gonna. No, we're gonna run an hour back thing instead.
Really?
2 months ago when I scheduled this, it seemed like a good idea, but there's not going to be anything to talk about tomorrow morning.
Well, what, with local elections, I suppose.
That's 5 minutes of the whole hour.
Oh, I got it.
You know, if I did come in, what am I going to report? You know, duh, we don't know. There may be some problems with shads somewhere.
Let the lawyers decide.
2 old, rich, white guys.
It's true.
All right. Ironically, just 4 years ago, the progressive people were saying, don't vote for an old, rich, white guy. Well, now there's one on their ticket.
Isn't Bernie Sanders an old rich white guy?
That too. Does Orange 45 beat Creepy Uncle Joe? Does Creepy Uncle Joe take it away from Orange Man? Does Orange Man contest the election? Does Creepy Uncle Joe contest the election? How many states are going to have issues counting or missing mail-in ballots? How many dead people are going to be counted? If Creepy Joe wins without a doubt, will Orange Man concede? How does this affect the second round of stimulus checks and the HEROES Act? Will the House shift? Will the Senate shift? Will there be another 4-year witch hunt if Orange Man wins? I doubt we will have the answers tomorrow. I doubt we will have the answers this week. And how am I going to deal with all of this?
Yeah.
Wine. Boxes of wine. And perhaps some Ativan. Let's pay our bills. We'll be back right after this.
No.
Underwriting for community radio is provided by the YMCA of Greater Westfield. Every day, the YMCA strengthens the community through programs and services focused on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. For all the Y's many programs and services, visit us on the web at www.westfieldymca.org. The YMCA, 67 Court Street in downtown Westfield. We're more than a gym. We're a cause.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
I must admit there have been some moments that were, dare I say, fun. We're off on the road to Rhode Island. We're having the time of our lives. Take it, dog.
We're quite a pair of partners, just like Thelma and Louise. Except you're not 6 feet tall.
Yes, and your breasts don't reach your knees.
Give it time.
We're off on the road to Rhode Island. We're certainly going in style.
I'm with an intellectual who craps inside his pants.
How dare you? At least I don't leave urine stains on all the household plants.
Oh, pee jokes.
We've traveled a bit and we've found, like a masochist in Newport, we're Rhode Island bound.
Crazy travel conditions, huh?
First class and new class.
Whoa, careful with that joke. It's an antique.
We're off on the road to Rhode Island. We're not gonna stop till we're there.
Maybe for a beer. Whatever dangers we may face, we'll never fear or cry.
That's right, until we're syndicated. Fox will never let us die. Please, we're off on the road to Rhode Island, the home of that old campus swing.
We may pick up some college girls and picnic on the grass.
We'd tell you more, but we would have the censors on our ass.
Yikes.
We certainly do get around.
Like a bunch of renegade pilgrims who were thrown out of Plymouth Colony.
We're Rhode Island bound.
Or like a group of college freshmen who were rejected by Harvard and forced to go to Brown.
We're Rhode Island bound.
Big finish.
I love it.
So
You can't do that anymore under the Duvall's new order.
We can't go anywhere. We can't even leave our house.
That sounds like martial law
Connecticut
to me.
doesn't even want us.
Yeah. No.
And
You know, no.
New York, we have to test twice. But you know, I played that because several months back I played it, and I think you might have been heading out to a doctor to have something done to you.
Is the monitor still on? I can hear ringing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where that's coming. I didn't turn this on. Okay, maybe I did turn it on.
Yeah, you did.
All right.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if I'm hearing your audio bouncing off in the hall.
No.
But when I played that a few months back,
I love it. You know that's
Kathy said, you know who would have loved that song? Bob.
I love that song.
So
it's the Road to Morocco.
I decided to
We're
play that
off
before you
to
get
the
your ass
road
handed to you with
I love
politics here in a minute.
Oh my
Run, Bob.
We're off to the road to. I'm going to be singing that all day long.
It's stuck in your head.
Oh my
isn't it?
God, Rhode Island. Yeah, we are not able. Kathy, are you going to leave the house
What?
with
What?
the new order from our governor? We've got to wear masks regardless of whether we're 6 feet apart or not, right?
Correct.
So that means when I walk the dog, I have to wear a mask?
It does.
Okay.
If you're out in public, yes,
Yeah,
it does.
okay.
So,
And-
but when I bring in the cows, I am not going to mask up. The cows.
That would
do
not be.
You're on private
public.
property.
They won't recognize you.
Don't tell the cows that.
No,
I think
no,
they're
no.
public.
So I wondered, we are not, we're considered essential. So we come to work, or are you going to stay home like you did pre-COVID? I mean,
You mean, am I going to
early-
stop coming to the studio?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. I think I feel safe here.
Okay.
I do feel safe here. I'm behind the glass.
Yeah.
I'm not near you. Keep in mind, and perhaps when the mayor comes in, he will shed more light on this. Almost half of the increase in the numbers came from the nursing home on Feeding Hills Road. I have a neighbor in that nursing home, and she does have it. So,
oh my God.
but if you consider that, and you understand that that's where the hot spot is, it isn't really affecting us here in the studio.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Well, we'll watch. I'm really kind of like shocked at the numbers as they go up.
They do, and they're going up
God.
rapidly. But the
Kenny,
funniest,
I want you to be safe. You're not leaving your net, KS Solutions. Everybody is Ken's business, incidentally. Are you leaving KS Solutions to go out of the house? Do you go out
when needed?
All right, okay. I just want you to be safe because I need you to be the ballast of my political life.
oh dear, Ken, though you do have to share the you put up a hilarious cartoon on Facebook or social media the other day about the police coming to the door and the turkey. You have to repeat that. That's hilarious.
What is this?
It's a police officer with a ramrod getting ready to bust down a door because somebody saw the residents buying a turkey that serves 10 to 12 people.
I loved it.
It's really getting that stupid.
I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, my word. Oh, God.
It's interesting, though, because Westfield is now in the red. And as you know, my daughter lives in Salem.
Yes.
Salem is not in the red. Salem's in the yellows.
Westfield is in the red because they had an outbreak at the nursing home.
Were you just not listening to me, Peter? Were you not listening to me?
He just wasn't there.
God. Oh, okay. I forget. Well, he's not there.
I think he took his pills a little too early today.
No, I started to take a multivitamin now.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
They did still have some of their crowds in Salem, but certainly not what they're used to. And honestly, if you've ever been to Salem on Halloween, you can't even walk down the street.
Actually, the mayor told people not to come.
Yes. Yes,
yeah, I
they
remember
did.
this. Yeah,
they did.
So did the governor.
They shut down the parking lots. They shut down businesses. And honestly, the residents did not want people.
Well, did you have people trick-or-treating this week? I wondered how your trick-or-treat.
Oh,
we
that's
didn't
right.
have one
You're
person.
downtown. You're downtown, Ken. Did you have people trick-or-treating?
At 9:15, I had some high schoolers banging on my side door.
Really?
And that was it.
You're kidding me.
I kid you not.
What about you, Bob?
No, I didn't. We didn't get a soul.
Well,
No, we didn't get a soul. We had our jack-o'-lanterns all nicely cut and carved, et cetera, and the witchy poos and the our scarecrows were still up. And
I think my girlfriend said she had about 20.
I understand
but
there
she
were
was
some
smart.
neighborhoods that did.
She was smart. She did all baggies, and she made all the baggies the same.
Yeah.
And said, take one. This is a self-serve operation.
Right.
Take one and be on your way. And people were pretty respectful of it.
Yeah, a lot of people did that. We never get it. I'm too far out.
Yeah.
There's just nobody out there.
Well,
far out, man.
Yeah.
Far out, baby.
Yeah. Oh my God! This is
Is it over?
It's over.
Thank God,
Thank God.
Peter. Oh, Peter, we're so happy. Let's celebrate.
This has been
Yeehaw!
this entire Big Brother season.
Worst year
Ever.
Ever.
Ever. And you can quote us because it was so predictable. I predicted this from day one for one, but I think every week I guessed who was going to go home. I mean, maybe there was 1 week that I was not in the money. How about you?
Time to cancel the show.
Yeah.
First off, okay.
I tried.
Cody said racist things to Memphis on the feeds, okay? And I'm not happy with him winning.
Oh,
all right.
didn't hear that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
CBS had their asses handed to them in social media.
Is that right?
Because of what was said during the feeds, and to that point, Cody
was the winner.
They ended up making a statement. No hate speech will be tolerated. Period. Anymore.
Wow.
So he, just the fact that he won and he.
Yeah.
Right. But I said it right from the beginning. Get rid of him, he can take it.
Oh my gosh, yes. And it's interesting that he won the first week. Kath, he was the first head of household, and usually that head of household is eliminated somewhere along the way. They get dominated, but then they get eliminated. He lasted, and he never was put up ever as a on the stand. Or
He played everyone as a fool. All right, I don't get it. How can seasoned players be so stupid?
Yeah, no.
Tell us how.
It's a wrestling match. It's fixed.
I think each one got paid to be stupid this year.
It's fixed.
All right,
Yeah.
just so they could have programming.
Ah.
All right, I am glad Nicole didn't win.
Oh, yes, and I don't think she should have won, and I don't think I think Cody should have won. I didn't know about the racist comments, and that might have tinged my vote, but I really thought that he played a good game. But a boring game, and I thought
The last 4 episodes I didn't even really. I fast forward through them just to see the highlights.
Yeah, when we were totally these Big Brother fans. I wonder if the majority of Big Brother fans feel the same way. Have you noticed on social media?
I was so let down. I haven't even looked into it.
Got it.
TV Guide gave Big Brother a jeer last week. Also in the ratings, I used to show where they fall in the ratings. It's always the 3 episodes were always in the top 10 of the week.
That's right. Yeah.
This past week they were right at the bottom. I mean,
are you
so
kidding?
I think the rest of the country is feeling the same way.
Yeah. What do you think is going to change that show? I mean, I think that they ought to. This is what I think. And you could NBC. No, what is it? ABC.
Keep going.
Keep going.
CBS.
Yep, there you go.
Oh.
it took you 3 tries to get.
Oh my God, help me! But I think that CBS then ought to consider when they're producing the show, instead of having 3 people go up for eviction. No, 2 people. They have 3 people go up for eviction, because then I think that makes it for you can't guess who's going to be eliminated. And I also think that they also ought to include an audience vote from week to week. I think they've got to make it a little bit less predictable. And also their games, I'm getting tired of the games.
They have been recycling a lot of them.
Yes, yeah. And I don't know. I just... I'm sorry, I might be switching to Amazing Race. Although
they're already getting ready to go into the 4th episode. I thought the same way. I set my recorder.
Boring, yeah.
I set my recorder for to record it. It picked up on the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it the first 30 seconds. I'm like,
you couldn't get it.
I'm not going to be able to do it.
Well, what are we going to watch? And instead, could we watch? Oh, I know, The Weakest Link. Now that was only on 5 shows. I thought The Weakest Link was a great show to watch, with Jane Lynch.
But I liked it with Anne better.
I thought it was
because she's got that snappy. She's better. Yeah. Jane's trying to be a copy, and she's not.
Oh no,
she doesn't have that acerbic wit.
No.
You like that?
Yeah. Oh, acerbic. Good. Very, very, very
good word.
Good.
Which is very appropriate for both of them, but Jane less so.
Yeah. But still, it's a great quiz. I like that as well. I watched the movie Borat last night. Oh my God.
It's a horrible remake. I watched it.
Oh my God.
It's worse than the original.
Yeah. How did they get Giuliani to do what he did in this film? Were they lying to him?
They were lying to a lot of people. There's people that are suing the production company.
Oh my God.
Regular people that got duped.
Incredible. Did you see it? You won't watch Sasha.
I didn't bother watching that.
No.
But before I have you get into talking about something new you haven't talked about yet.
Yes.
I'm still going through stuff at my home, looking for things that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, of course.
Looking for things I can chuck.
Yeah.
And I found a bunch of my old answering machine tapes.
Oh
no.
Remember when we used to get creative with those?
No. Yeah, we got to hear this. You're going to play some of them? Let's hear.
Submitted to your approval. an electronic connection to a number the telephone book never told you about. Our voices are being carried through countless numbers of amplifiers, transformers, and digital to analog to digital converters. Once a connection is made, it is completed. There is no turning back. Speak up, leave a name and telephone number. You have just bought a one-way ticket into the answering zone.
Oh my
Good
God.
Lord.
And there's a ground problem with that tape head. It didn't sound that loud when I played it at home.
Yes.
I'm going to have to try putting that into another transport to see if I can calm that buzzing down.
My God, when people called in, they had you talking about analogs and everything, and then at the end,
This is from the early 90s. I mean,
I would have
we
thought
did
that I
things
called
like
the wrong number. That's the immediate. I would immediately thought I called the wrong number. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, is this one noisy too? If it is, I'm going to stop it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's noisy too.
I'm
going to have to re-record these with a different deck.
Would you? What's your tape say now? Just tell us what your.
It doesn't. It just says you know what to do.
You know the trail to leave.
Yeah, that's all it does.
Okay. What does your tape say, Kath?
I don't usually call me, so I have no idea because it's.
It's automatic. You hired somebody to do your.
It's
tape.
just on my which one, my landline or my cell phone.
Your landline.
My landline has just a pre-recorded voicemail thing. Leave a message. So and so is not available. Leave a message. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't have anything creative.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. It's just terrible. And it's hi, we're not here. Please leave your name, address, and telephone number after the beep. Thanks.
My brothers used to say, "I'll call you back if I feel like it."
Yeah. I have a relative who got the wrong idea. Kenny, he thought that it was a machine he was recording. So you have reached the phone of so and so. Please leave your name and number after the beep. Like it was a script. Like I
do that to telemarketers.
Yeah, I think he thought that he wrote the script out, and so he's a lousy actor, and so consequently, it sounds like he's a lousy. Never mind. At any rate.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
What do you got to talk about there, Kenny Benny? Before I leave, I got to get home. I got to watch
Regis
and Kathy Lee.
Regis. I wish they were back. Honestly,
Oh my
the
God!
other two.
Yeah. No, I like. All right. So what did you have a question for me?
Yeah. What's WoW doing now that Pumpkin Fest is done?
Well, first I'm going to write a thank you note to everyone, all the supporters of Pumpkin Fest, Scarecrow Trail, Haunted Houses, for all the success that we had. We had over 28,000 hits, I think, on our website. That's beyond belief. I mean, like, really so wonderful. So at any rate, the Decemberfest activities are all going to be safe and responsible similarly. And we announced if you'd like to be part of our Holiday Lights Challenge. In other words, like our Scarecrow Trail, you could light up your house, Kenny, and be part of it. There's going to be prizes involved, financial awards, that are the 3 best houses, and you can go and find out everything at Westfield on Weekends. We have also
the Facebook Westfield on Weekends.
The Facebook Westfield,
right? Because that's where all the latest current information has been going lately.
That's very true.
And then in about a week or so, you can go to Westfield on Weekends once everybody sends me what I need in order to get up on that website.
You are.
Are you the .commie?
He is. He is very good.
Yeah, I'm using WordPress to admin the Westfield on Weekends site, and I still have the pumpkin stuff up.
Oh, God.
All right, so when you get me the Winterfest stuff, I'll get it up. But in the interim, Facebook, Westfield on Weekends, that's where the latest information is.
We also have the Tree Jubilee, which this year is virtual. and you're going to be able to vote online. If you're a business and you'd like to donate a wreath and or a tree to us, you could go to Westfield on weekends and submit a notice to us, or you could write me at Bob Plass at Yahoo, and I'll be glad to get you through it.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
I knew you weren't
Pete,
gonna let
you
that
missed
go.
out on that one.
I knew that was coming.
Really? Yeah. Woo! I've always had that.
Oh, I know you
I
boys
know.
so well.
Oh yeah. And but here's the good deal. Magic in the Air is happening, and it's called Magic in the Air. And because of Peter and our wonderful friend Kenny Stomsky, we're going to have more than 20 hours of holiday programming.
Magic in the air or magic on the air?
No, Magic in the Air.
But it's also on.
On the air makes more
Change
sense.
the preposition.
Think about it.
On the air meaning on the TV.
Magic on the air. But it's also on the radio.
How about on and in?
And are you going to spell it A-I-R-E?
Oh dear.
A-I.
Oh,
Oh, that's the old spell. Oh no. But we've got some great programming happening, and I taped a show last week, a storytelling session last week. Kathy's doing one. We're going to have some concerts, and the Westfield Women's Club. We're going to be able to see the production of Christmas Carol and My Holiday Friend.
Holiday Spirit with Carol Palmer. And,
Oh, that's funny. I like that.
And who has possession of those files now?
I believe Peter does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do.
They're already loaded.
All right.
Wonderful. So we've got concerts and everything. So people are going to be introduced to WCPC or WSKB that have never seen it. So Magic in the Air right now might be Magic on the Air if I can change up a name.
Well, think about it.
A Magic on the Air.
Oh, Bob, I have an idea for you, but
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it on the air.
All right, call me.
Let's talk about it
yeah.
before you go.
All right. Are you ready to get out and volunteer?
I am. I'm putting my 2 fleeces on. Look, see, I have this fleece and this. What's the weather outside? Is it nice?
No idea.
The weather outside is frightful.
It's frightful. Hey, I've already voted. If you haven't voted, everyone, get out there and vote. Regardless of which side you're on, get out there and vote. It's your right. It's your responsibility. Isn't that right?
Right.
And while you're in the process, donate.
Right.
Donate to some good cause.
Right.
Right.
Get out and volunteer.
That's 3.
Love you.
W. Zenya.
Oh, yeah. Droga Yachakoa. Droha Yachakoa.
Okay.
Ciao.
Whatever.
Bye. Thanks.
Pete.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardy siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
So, this past summer,
Yes.
I decided a little too late that I wanted a swimming pool.
Right. I remember all that.
Yeah.
And?
There just weren't any to be had, and the ones that could be had were 8 times marked up.
Now, what size were you looking for?
12 by 48 or 15 by 48.
Okay.
48 in height, so that I didn't have to worry about a fence.
Oh, good point.
I looked into the local regulations.
Ah, good.
So with a 48-inch height on the pool wall, you didn't have to be concerned with the fence. You know, I where I'd be putting it, it's all secluded and hidden and blocked off anyway. But you know, I'd have to come up and fashion a gate or something.
Yeah,
so
you have to
48-inch.
lock up the ladder, and you have to do all that.
Yeah, you turn the ladder up, and then you don't have access to the pool.
And
so there was not a single one to be found or had, and I looked throughout August,
far and wide.
Throughout August, I said, if I find one in August, I'm still good for half of August and part of September, because you know I had the pool when I was a kid. And I used it all the time. And when I hit 12th grade in high school, I stopped using it. I developed into the hot tub person.
Okay.
Down in Florida, shooting a rocket launch in June, pool does not have a hotel does not have a hot tub. Had a pool.
Okay, interesting.
So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not doing anything all day long. I'm going to go hang out in the pool. And I found out that it was really great just to sit at the edge of the pool, kicking your legs back and forth, exercising, and getting color. So now I want that in my own yard.
Okay.
Now, that was my thinking this past summer. I also needed to find one of those temporary pools because not only am I somewhat poor, I'm a cheap Pollock, right? So just could not find a pool. Now they are showing up everywhere.
Really?
Yes, and I've
for
ordered,
a decent price.
and I've ordered one.
Okay.
All right, for a really, really good price because now they have too many of them. So it won't be assembled until the end of spring, but I know where it's going, and in order for it to go where it's going, I need to lose a tree.
Ooh.
So if anyone is listening, I have a mulberry tree in my backyard. All right, burns long and hot, just like oak. And it's a seasonwood. People use it for smoking meats as well, just like apple. So I think I'm going to throw a picture of it up on social media in the next day or two.
If somebody chips it for you, can you save me a bag of chips?
I don't care what's done with it. I just want it gone.
No, I'm just saying if somebody takes it out and they have wood chips, ask for a bag or two so I can use them in the smoker.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to have it seasoned first before you chip.
I can dry them.
Okay. So, you know, I either drop it for me and cut it up into pieces so I can hire a hauling company and take the stuff away, or take it yourself. All right. I just don't have a means of felling it and then chopping it up and
You
dealing
don't have a
with
chainsaw.
it. Yeah, and even if I did, I'm not. This is beyond my capabilities. You know, you have to be careful where things land. It's not tall. It's not a very tall tree. It's just complicated in the way it's grown. I'll get a picture up, but you know, I just don't have $1,000 to have somebody come in and take it away. So hopefully someone, if they could use it for burning or smoking or chipping or whatever, it's yours. Have at it. I know a lot of things have gone down with all the storms lately, but
Yeah.
you know, I have to try. Otherwise, I'm going to be cutting off only what I need to cut off somehow. I'll put a saw at the end of a broomstick and just remove things one by one if I have to, and then take a circular saw or whatever and chop that up into little itty bitty pieces and figure something out. But I'd rather not do that.
Now, once you get the tree removed, do you have to prepare the space to put the pool down, or you?
There's one little section I need to put a little bit of soil in just to make it perfect 100% level. But other than that, the yard that I have is all set for it.
So you don't need to put down any specific kind of surface. You can just lay it down.
Yeah,
in the yard?
for one of these,
Okay.
you put it right on the grass.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
I just go in the brook.
Yeah. You know, I've already painted that side of my garage so that when I'm sitting in my pool next year, I'm looking at a pretty decent wall in front of me instead of something that's kind of chipped away.
You ought to put something scenic on there.
You know what I have to do?
Peter,
I've got an Ethernet cable run out to my garage from my house. It's currently carrying signal from security cameras, but if I change those to an IP camera instead of using video balance,
of course,
and then put a switch out there,
you could have Wi-Fi,
or a wired internet signal that I could put onto a flat panel on the side of my garage on the outside, right underneath the overhang. So it's not, and I got gutters there. The rain won't hit it. I'll put a flat panel right on the side of my garage. What do you think of that?
How many would that make then, Ken?
And as soon as I said throw a switch on it, Pete knew exactly what I was going after.
I think you need some intervention here. The idea is to enjoy nature and sit there and contemplate. No, huh? Okay.
No,
Not so
because
much.
in Florida I had conversation.
Mhm.
But if I'm out there just by myself, you know, I want to put Regis and Kathy Lee up on the TV.
Doesn't that contradict your earlier statement?
I have some panels in my basement that need repair. I can repair them relatively inexpensively, and I have a couple of mounts kicking around from when the shop closed.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, so that wouldn't cost me much at all. And I think I have a switch. I think I have a 5-port or 4-port switch somewhere that'll do the job. If I already have it, it doesn't cost me more money.
You need intervention, Ken.
So if anyone wants a mulberry tree for free, get in touch with me and let me know. Look at this, Kathy. I'm almost there. It's
You are
almost
there.
going to be perfect.
Perfection is your middle name.
You know, the OCD will drive you nuts now and then.
I know, but we're
9
used to it.
a.m. on the nose. This is Ken's Den. I'm Ken Stomsky. We're at the top of the hour.
Burn down the store, take what you want and more. Shop until you drop, voodoo consumer never stop. Load up on supplies, no sale, no compromise. Gun crazy down the mall, voodoo consumer right up and take it. It's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. 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 Drive me to the bank. Kneel down and give me thanks. Grab your credit card, voodoo consumer, kiss me hard. Eat this, drink this, drive this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. Too late, voodoo consumer terminus. Eat this, drink this, drive this, buy this, wear this, fly this, play this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously marvelous, meticulously treacherous, disarduously cruel. Just make it fabulous. 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 Fabulous.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Excuse me, sweetheart. What's the name of that old new dance?
The electric slide.
I've fallen and I can't get up. I've fallen and I can't get up.
The roof is on fire!
This.
Calypso Kent.
How did I do that? How did I do that in 1989 with linear editing?
Wasn't easy, I know, because I used to do it too.
How the hell did I pull that off?
Although Cool Edit was around, it just started to be out then. It was like really early versions.
I just that was another tape that I found some old tapes from WCCH. What was it, 103.5, I think, from Hoyle Community, and
I don't think I have any air checks from TCC. I have some from HYN.
Yeah, I
have HYN FM.
I have a few others, and I just listened to it. I'm like, that sounded fairly clean for just analog linear editing, and I don't remember how I pulled it off. There was a lot of holding down of albums and having a button on a finger on a pause button and just hoping it works.
That's how you had to do it.
It's true.
It's funny that you said that, Ken, because just yesterday I tossed out a whole pile of reel-to-reel tapes I don't even know what's on them.
You know, I could have played them so you'd know what's on.
I do have an old tape recorder somewhere, but nah.
If
I haven't seen him in 10 years, 15 years,
then the belts and the idler's already shot if it's been sitting that long. Because I had to recondition the one that I got.
I just don't know what to do with all the VHS movies I still have. I'm not going to watch them. I might as well just throw them out. They're so cheap to buy now. If I ever wanted to watch Gone with the Wind again or Fiddler on the Roof, I can just go out and buy it for $5. So I think they're going to go that way. Yep. And I hate to say it, but you know what? Even all of my children's tapes, we went on vacation. There's a very strange. Do you ever get the feeling someone's looking over your shoulder?
That's not 6 feet. All right, let's do a quick break. We'll reset, and we'll be back with Mayor Don Humison.
Sounds good.
Someone's arms, and there you were. I needed someone to understand my ups and downs, and there you were. With sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotions. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. Hey now, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, baby, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Yes, it is. Close my eyes at night and wonder what would I be without you in my life. Everything was just a bore. All the things I did seems I've done them before. But you brighten up all my days with a love so sweet in so many ways. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. Hey, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, yes it is, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Yes it is, baby. You are better to me than I've been to myself. For me, there's you and nobody else. Stop and thank you, baby. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. Oh, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Tell the truth, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Well, it's like sugar to my soul. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Saturdays were made for polka. Tune in to the Polka Jammer Network starting at 6 a.m. and Polka Hall of Famer Billy Bellina, Breakfast at BB at 8:30.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
9, 10 3/4. Did you ever see me move that quickly?
No.
I was going to make a comment, but I thought I better not.
Like the Flash. You were there
Never
and
saw
then you
you
were
run.
Yeah, because of you not being here on time. It wasn't on my mind. It wasn't on my mind anymore to reframe the camera because we don't need it framed on me. We want it framed on you for this. So,
That's right.
Last
the
second
ratings
there, we had the jock shout going out there, and I'm adjusting cam 3 over here, so pulled that one off.
Can you adjust Cam Newton? Oh, that would be helpful too.
Oh, don't even go there. That's so painful, isn't it? And Tom just keeps on winning.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
That was me.
Oh, so thank you, kid. you button pressers, I see. Thank you.
In the studio, Mayor of Westfield, Massachusetts, the man,
On
the
cue.
myth, the legend, Don Humison.
Morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Mayor.
Happy Election Day.
We have his new opening music, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and our editing software now will let you do
Interpretive dance.
playing around with time. So we'll get you doing the Chariots of Fire, walking up to the front of City Hall or something on video one day. Oh God.
Have fun with
I
that.
loved this song when I was a kid. Or this
The arrangement?
Yeah, the arrangement's beautiful.
Vangelis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vangelis.
that was up here.
I don't know why.
What is it with this program? See, it does that.
Yeah, we already heard it.
I know, but every time if I put it down, the volume down on the actual DJ program, now when I put the volume back up, it plays it. I can't figure out why.
I'm sure you will.
Eventually.
Pete, if you can't figure it out, I'm sure I can't. So
Yeah, I'll figure it
I
out
don't
eventually.
even know what he's talking about, Don, so we're good.
I
They
also
they
like-
do this to me, you know.
I also like the music you played. That song before I got here. I was listening to it on the radio as I was driving in. Dangerous. And
Fabulous.
Fabulous,
Sorry,
yes.
that's-
Yeah.
That's a good song.
Fabulous by Happy Head. Yeah. I used to use it to test equipment out on the bench just because it had it delivered
Both sides.
frequencies from
Yeah.
so many instruments. It was a good sonic recording.
It's a great, a lot of great lyrics too. But I never paid attention to them until today.
Yeah.
But they're really good.
Yeah. Halloween was this past weekend. So what did you do at Quinn for Halloween?
Quinn dressed up as a weird character from Five Nights at Freddy's, which is an internet thing that he probably shouldn't watch, but he does. And his character was Foxy, and Foxy is like a scary animatronic with like a lot of teeth and wires sticking out of his chest and everything. So not really the costume that his mother and I really liked, but he liked it. Except it was cold, so kids on Halloween hate cold nights because they don't want to wear jackets over their costumes.
Right.
Oh, I
get it.
hated doing that.
I remember that from when I was a kid too, and it was awful. But
My mother had me layer up underneath my costume because she didn't want to
yeah.
deal with me.
well, in our case, it was always like we were wrapped up so much you couldn't see our costume. You just had like one mask, and that was it. Last year, though, Quinn had a really creative costume. He was the Titanic. He had an inflatable Titanic pool toy, a white shirt that looked like an iceberg, and blue pants for the water.
Oh, that's cute.
And it was a great
That's
costume. Yeah, it was really cool.
Marianne would be proud of you.
Very innocent, very, very cute, But this year he's 9, he's edgy, he's tough. He's got teeth.
Trick or treating or trunk or treating or
Did
buying
a
your
little-
own.
Little of both. We went to an event at the Boys and Girls Club. They had a drive-through trick or treat. Thank you to the folks at the Boys and Girls Club and all the sponsors. That was really nice. And then later on, we went to Kelly Pease's thing over at Mestic parking lot. And they had all these, as you drove through, they had all these like Halloween displays that were really spooky and very cool. And then we only went to a few of his friends' houses. We didn't do too much. He's not a big, unlike his mom and dad, he's not a big candy kid. So he likes the act of trick-or-treating with friends more than just getting candy.
Yeah.
So it was fun. We obviously stopped and see Dad because his grandfather, my dad, was working that night. So we made sure we stopped to see him, and then we stopped to see Grandma. We went to Heather's house. We were talking about Heather and Isaac and a few others, and that was it.
Yeah. So you hit several of the trunk or treats. The one up on Root Road.
I heard it was huge.
The road was backed up for over a mile.
Yeah, that was
over 1,000 people went through that one.
Wow.
Right.
So you would have lost a little bit of time trying to get back to the other ones in town.
Sure, the neighbors.
Yeah.
Sure, the neighbors love.
It's one night. They'll live.
You know, it was a good night because I took a little grief as mayor for not canceling the event, but I thought there were no city-sponsored events this year, so it really wasn't up to me as mayor to cancel Halloween. And everybody I talked to,
even though some mayors,
they tried to. They tried to caution their people to stay home and not go out.
And I think in some of the bigger cities, it's a whole different ball game than Westfield. I really do. And how do you police it?
That's it. I mean, I wasn't going to ask our police officers to patrol.
You'd have cruisers running around all night, knocking on people's doors.
You were
like the 4th
you were
like
2
the 4th of
weeks.
July.
You were 2 weeks ahead of the governor when you announced I'm not canceling it. You decide, and then
he came right out.
And then 2 weeks later, Duvall's like, oh, not Duvall. I keep calling him we know why.
I know why. Tall Duvall.
But Baker finally said, well, I'm going to leave it up to the mayors. So. Yeah, you were way ahead of him.
Everybody I talked to said it was a good night. They didn't have a huge volume of trick-or-treaters. There weren't a lot of kids out and about, but it seemed safe. The police didn't have a particularly bad night, trying to keep the parties down and that kind of thing. So it was good in Westfield. It was exactly what we hoped for.
Good.
So thank you to everybody who did it smart and did it safe.
Excellent. And speaking of Baker, we're going to be a lot safer now. Because I never read about this science. For some reason, COVID-19 is more contagious and more dangerous between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m.
The daylight hours are.
Yeah. So we're going to be much safer now.
Was that a shot, Ken?
No. Ken? Peter, you know better.
I do. Was that a shot, Ken?
What I'm trying to figure out is who's going to enforce that. Are we having the Massachusetts National Guard or the state police?
Yeah, right.
Matter of fact, one of the questions I have on his list.
Are we under martial law now?
Well, one of the questions I have for Mayor Humison on here is, are you giving orders to agencies to police Westfield looking for mask compliance?
I was going to deputize you, Pete, and Kathy, and just have you out there patrolling the streets.
We'll get right on that.
I got enough to do.
So the answer then would be no.
That's right.
You're not going out. You're not looking for
no, and I'm not even sure what I was a legislator in both the House and Senate for many years, and I always was taught before I was actually in the business that something has to have the force of law behind it before you enforce it. I don't know if you enforce an idea or a guideline, especially with fines or arrests or whatever this is intended to do. So I don't mean to wade into the controversy here, but I watched the press release. I heard the new guidelines, and I thought, how are we going to enforce that? Especially the part about, going into people's homes, 3 families at a time. Everybody has to wear a mask, in between bites of their turkey and mashed potatoes.
If you walk your dog at 3 in the morning, well, you can't even do that now.
Yeah, if you're out, they shoot your dog.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
That's
Unless the dog.
That's the one sound bite. That'll happen.
Yeah, they're going to be repeating that on social media over and over and over now.
The dog has to wear a mask. That'll protect him.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them on the cows.
No.
That would be funny. Take pictures.
Mask them all.
I'll donate the mask for that.
Kathy, it's only a matter of time, right? I mean, somebody's going to do it.
I mean, if you actually issue a ticket for something, and you get the right person with a lawyer cousin or whatever, there's going to be issues.
What MGL do you cite? What Mass General Law do you cite to issue the citation? There has to be a law to issue a citation or city ordinance to.
Because the law has to have a penalty in it, and if there's no law, there can be no penalty. So I don't know how that's enforceable.
Right.
I don't know. But
I mean, listen, it's just common sense, folks.
Sure.
I'm just going to play the devil's advocate here because that's what Ken taught me to do.
Sorry about that.
If he takes one side, I have to take the other, and I'm not in support of it. But what it may do, though, is just make people stop and think more. Even though there may not be repercussions, people may say, well, wait, let's not have this big party of 50 kids at a beer keg. So hopefully it just makes
that's been the biggest part of this is the younger people who
are
know by
congregating.
the numbers, because we've raised numbers people, so they know by the numbers that they're very, very unlikely to pass away from this. They're more likely by the numbers to recover from this. So they're like, well, we don't care about this.
But it may, if they think there may be repercussions, and there may be legal, and maybe down the road there will be.
Well, but also this is the same generation that we've been told that there's no repercussions for anything.
Well, I'm not going to get into that discussion.
But you know what I'm saying? So now you've created this perfect storm where they're seeing the numbers, and the numbers are low for mortality for that age groups, right? And they've been raised to think that there's no consequences for anything. So now you have the perfect storm of non-compliance. You like that one? There's another quote for you.
The title of my next album.
Perfect storm. I just think walking down my cul-de-sac at 3 in the afternoon with nobody else out there, I don't think there should be a requirement in that place. That's just.
I have a feeling if you're not in somebody's face, that it's going to be, it's going to be a non-issue.
And I've always masked when I'm near people. Now, I'm near Mr. Humison right now, but this is a 6-foot table. We're distanced.
Well, and the other thing too is, and I have an inquiry into Joe Rouse about something. But can my girlfriend come visit me from Connecticut?
Oh.
And can I go visit her from Connecticut?
I think so long as it's not 25 hours.
That's right.
Because you're perfectly safe for 24, but as soon as you're there for 25 hours, there's a problem.
And that's
read
we will
the
be monitoring that, Pete.
Read the Connecticut order. That's what it says.
I know, but the Massachusetts order is nondescript. So now you have a paradox.
Oh, that means 2 doctors. That means you're healthier.
Yes.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't believe he said that. Oh. Yeah. Good one.
It's so confusing. That's my bottom line. Is it's very confusing.
Well, it's like I've found with Halloween. Again, you try to treat people with respect and say, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but please do it the right way. Or do it as smart and healthy as you can, so that we don't regret the decision later on. And then most people did the right thing. I mean, I didn't have any reports of huge parties or huge gangs of roving kids too close to each other without masks on, getting right up to people's houses. In fact, we went to a couple of houses on Halloween night that had really ingenious little devices to get the candy to the kids. So again,
like Rube Goldberg type stuff.
Exactly, like big tubes where the people would put the candy in, it would slide down the tube and then fall into the basket. It was pretty clever.
I saw a picture of my girlfriend put everything in little baggies.
Yep.
And just put them on the table and said, "Please be nice and take only one." And everybody did.
Yeah, I actually read something again on Facebook, so it's got to be true. Not only did they take the candy, but they took the table too. So someone's
oh yeah, I saw that.
See that? Someone's missing a table that was like a gift from their grandparents.
Come on.
So there were
Well, it said take one.
take one table, one only.
Come on, man.
I say that to Quinn all the time, and it bugs me that I'm
It's
now.
been usurped. They copied you. That wasn't fair.
So I'm trying to get him to behave. Talk about a generation with no consequence.
Actually,
he's
Biden
third
took
grade.
He's 4th grade.
Fourth grade.
Oh, he's
my favorite
stubborn
age, Don.
Actually, Biden took that from the ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown crew. They have a whole segment called "Come On, Man."
Barry was saying that way before him too.
True.
Yeah. But not going in that direction. We were talking about COVID.
And it's killing you.
I'm playing nice with politics
on
election
I
day,
have
right?
to. Oh, we're going to be getting to election day. Don't worry about that,
Okay.
Mr. Humison.
He's been so well behaved so far, Don. You'd be proud of him.
Well, the
Yeah,
guy's going to
until
get
you hear-
himself a
until
pool
you-
with a panel. It'll be great.
Until you hear
Well,
me
when you have a year like this,
I'm behaving until the microphone is closed, and then
Okay.
yeah.
that was an actual Westfield dumpster fire. by the
Oh,
way.
was it really?
Yeah, Michelle Hames caught that one, and I had to meme it. I had to. I was
Did
like,
you
you got
see
a
the-
picture with no firefighters in it or nothing?
Have you seen the one with the porta potties on fire? And it says the same thing. This is 2020. And
Yes, exactly. Yes, I have.
All right. Take
that's a
control
re-
again, Ken. Come on. Get this under control.
That's a real crappy thought. That
Oh, that was. What is with you two today?
Oh.
This is going to make his dad joke look like nothing because
I didn't plan a dad joke today.
Oh,
I don't have one.
Don, what you've already said.
You have
was
half an
sufficient.
hour to come
the
up with one.
paparazzi was that was it. That was it.
How often are you communicating with Joe Rouse right now?
pretty frequently, pretty often, quite frankly, because, I said this from the beginning. I'm not a public health official. I never took public health classes. I paid attention in health class years ago, but that was it.
Yeah.
So my decision has been as mayor, whenever we had, guidelines coming down from either the federal government or the state government, I would go to one person to be my source for public health information. So right or wrong, good or bad, and they've mostly been good, I think, I go to Joe Rouse. He's the city's public health director. He has access to a huge, I was going to say huge database. He's got access to information that I don't have. He knows the people to talk to, and so I always thought that, I would be consistent if I followed Joe's guidance for the city of Westfield. Mm-hmm. Other cities and towns may do different things. Other mayors may reach out to different people, but Joe is, a city employee. He's lived and worked in the city for a long time. He knows the community well. He knows his job. His staff is very, very good.
He's got a great staff that's willing to.
Yeah.
They're not yes men and women over there. They're willing to hash it out if they need to.
And they've got a great board. And so I'm sure they debate this stuff. I'm sure they, research this stuff. So I asked Joe a lot of questions about, what we should do. So, whether it's, in fact, I consulted Joe about Halloween. When the governor had started to issue guidelines about golf courses and riding in carts and stuff, I called Joe up and said, hey, what do you think we should do? So there are many times when we'll talk, about sort of lighthearted things like golf carts and Halloween, but other times we'll talk about things like the nursing home here in Westfield, where there's a situation where many of the residents and some of the staff have COVID. So that's a concern. And I called Joe on a Saturday night and talked to Deb Mulvena, our public health nurse, and we all powwowed and then reached out and that night I got in touch with the Lieutenant Governor and the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Governor's Regional Director, all to talk about this nursing home, because we want to try to help that facility so that we don't repeat what happened at the Soldiers Home. So there are some times when I'm talking to him about very serious things and other times when I'm talking to him about less serious things, but he is the consistent person that I go to in the city. And other people go to too. Obviously, Joe appears on our school committee meetings because he gives guidance to the superintendent and the school committee members about what to do with sending kids back to school, whether that's safe or, wise or what have you. And so, my sense has been it's been a good decision to follow his advice. Mm-hmm. And, we're all going through this sort of for the first time. None of us have had to live through a pandemic in the city in recent times. So I'm following the advice of my expert, and I haven't been disappointed so far.
And I have a history expert, Kathy.
Yeah.
The last thing like this or close to this that went through the town here.
Are you thinking of polio?
Whatever you think you could compare to within the past 200 years, let's say.
It's long before you two, but yes, I was here for the polio epidemic, and as Ken knows, I had polio during that year. It was the epidemic year of 1952.
Wow, okay.
I came down with polio in August, and of course it was very virulent. We lost something. We lost thousands of children that year. Something like 30,000 children had it, and several thousand passed away. Yeah. We can blame it on my sister. They think my sister is the one that brought it home to me because I was only 5 at the time, so I wasn't going anywhere. But we had a lot of the same issues then, Don. Schools were shut down, mm-hmm. Theaters were shut down, swimming places were shut down, stores were shut down.
How long, Kathy? Do you remember how long, because of the polio outbreak, things were shut down? Was it months and months? Was it weeks?
Mostly during your summer months, because that's when the epidemic, for some reason, polio always reared its head in the summertime. At the time then, they thought it was a hygiene issue. They originally thought that polio was like this one, being spread by contact. Now the new theories are that because post World War II we became very health conscious, very washing, cleaning, very hygienic, and they're now thinking that children were not building up any resistance
Sure.
to the polio virus at all, and that's why it was so prevalent. The next year, of course, we had the vaccine. And once we had the vaccine, we more or less eradicated it in the United States. It is still prevalent in some countries, some of your Middle East countries, like Afghanistan, Pakistan. They still do have polio there, which is not a good thing. And if people refuse to vaccinate, who knows, it may come back. I was hospitalized from August to November. And I had to be taught how to walk again.
I was going to ask, do you have any
I do.
lasting
I
effects
do.
from that disease?
And you don't notice it. No one notices it. But I have a paralyzed left arm that if I put it over my head, it will fall on my head, which when you're a child is a wonderful trick for your older sister to say, watch Kathy hit herself on the head. She was so mean to me. So, yes, that epidemic was as frightening. And like COVID, people were absolutely paralyzed with fear because you had no idea. One of the Beatty children had it. Kaczynski children had it. So it was not...
I had it. Do you remember Bruce Pullen? He was a pastor at Central Baptist Church, a church that I attended for a long time.
I do not.
He replaced, I think it was Reverend Panchard, but when he came, he walked with a crutch or walked with a brace, and he explained to us, I was on the search committee at the time, and he explained to us that he had had polio as a child, and it had affected his leg, and I think that was about it. I don't think it affected his arms, but he had, since the time he was a child, ended up walking with crutches.
I have, my left leg is shorter, so it affected my spine. Didn't we have it? Wasn't there a guidance counselor at the high school?
Malachowski?
I don't remember.
No, he lived on Courtney. Ed Courtney, I believe.
What I learned about polio, I learned from the pastor because he told me about what it was like and what he went through as a child, and but again, you thank God that it's been eradicated in many places, especially here in the country, and that children don't have to worry about getting it.
I know, but that's the issue with virus that people have to understand. Virus is very hard to kill. It's easily transmittable. You don't know where it's going.
Right.
You have no control over it. So if we do what we're supposed to do, without the laws notwithstanding, we could help ourselves.
Right. It's a scary thing, too, when you can't see it. You don't know what it is that or where it is. And so,
like radiation.
Right. That's a good example, right?
Yeah.
You can't see something that is very harmful, at least although in radiation's case, or at least with atomic energy or something, it has a useful purpose. But if you don't do it right, you can hurt a lot of people. I was in the legislature when we had the SARS outbreak and H1N1, and the legislature working with the Department of Public Health tried to go through, all the precautions and things that we could get out there for people and fund, research and fund prevention and those kind of things. But I remember they didn't seem to last long. So the scare was there, the SARS scare, the H1N1 scare was there, but it certainly only lasted a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months.
They burned out.
Yeah, and it certainly didn't impact our economy. It didn't impact our schooling. It didn't impact our lives like this has.
What would our generation be like if we didn't go out back and find a stick and dig in the dirt and eat the dirt and...
Ken,
we really
helps your immune system. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about with the mask wearing.
My sister, along with Don's mom, they were school nurses for years. And years ago, they predicted this. I remember them telling them that we were going to have these issues because we'd become too clean. We weren't.
My mom talking about the hand sanitizer everywhere, instead of just washing your hands with soap and water, everybody was squirting alcohol.
You can't get antibacterial soap anymore.
I just did.
Did you?
Yeah.
It might be old stock. Look into
people
that.
Some people are making it themselves.
But I never worried about
Yeah.
whether it was. But Sharon said, you watch down the line, and here we do. We have that MRSA that's
Right.
coming in. We have, what's that other one?
Superbugs. Right?
There's another one that you get a lot in nursing homes. It's gone right out of my head.
Tapioca?
C. diff.
Pudding, pudding or Jello.
You know,
That could be the case too.
But we've just become so hygienic that we have no resistance whatsoever to some of these viruses.
You know that I had the perfect segue there, and I got my
And it's going?
tongue tied.
Oh no!
You know something that none of us are resistant to, voting.
Oh, good segue.
All right. How has early voting been here in town?
Busy. According to Karen Fannion and the clerk's office staff, it was very busy at City Hall for a couple of weeks. And we had people, well, actually they have numbers. We had, the clerk's staff had about 200 to 300 people a day.
Wow.
Coming into City Hall to vote. And, we had set this up so that they were coming into the basement, a certain room. They weren't, people weren't wandering through the building. They were just staying in one place to vote. But we had a lot of people who took advantage of early voting in person. Also, the drop box outside City Hall, there's people coming up all day long putting their ballots in. So I don't have the exact numbers, but Karen did say a lot of people have already voted early. So
I did that early voting, and
yeah,
that was set up fairly well.
They tried to do it. So
Yeah, it was really
convenient
well.
and quick. There were never any lines. You didn't have to wait.
I was in and out.
Yeah.
I think somebody said there was one line early one morning before, but it was only a couple people deep, and they were in still. I was in and out in 10 minutes.
Good. And they had it set up so that you could actually vote on Saturday and Sunday, too. So the point was to make it as convenient for people as possible and to say, look, there's no excuse. You can vote on a Saturday. You can vote on a Sunday afternoon. You can vote during the week, and make it so that people had the opportunity to do that if they wanted to do that early. I haven't voted yet today, but I plan on voting in person. And, I expect there to be a smaller line than I would normally face.
I know there's a lot of new voters, too, because we've already had 2 people come to my door saying, is this where I vote? Honest to God.
Really?
Yes.
Here at the school?
Yes.
Okay.
And I had to send them around the front because I'm not bringing them through the school.
Right.
Because that's not the way it's set up. And I don't want to have any problems at the school tomorrow.
Well, folks in Ward 2 who would normally vote at the senior center are voting at the middle school because the senior center.
Oh, yes, we have that list.
So, yeah. Oh, good.
There's your list.
Yep. We've got the polling locations right there.
And it is a change for Ward 2, A and B.
I'm in Ward 4, so I vote up at the Second Congregational Church, and I'll probably vote later on tonight. Typically, I would vote in the middle of the day because I wanted to go and see people, but I'm not on the ballot this year. I can just go and vote, cast my ballot, and then go home and watch the returns.
I'm surprised you didn't early vote. It was right in City Hall.
I could have, and I did during the primary. I early voted during the primary, but Kat, Pete, it's something like, election day for me has always been, I've either been on the ballot or I've been working for a candidate or I've been involved somehow.
That's true.
So on the actual day, I like to go to the polling place and actually be there just for a minute. They won't let you stick around. But so I thought I would vote in person. Janice, my wife, voted early, and she said the same thing: in and out, no problem. Very convenient. She enjoyed it and said she probably will do that more. The question is whether it will increase the number of people who vote. The biggest thing I was concerned about was by doing early voting, you'd have the same amount of people voting, but it would just spread out over a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I guess that's okay because you want it to be convenient for voters. But the real goal is to make sure that everybody who is registered to vote gets a chance to vote at a convenient time.
The Secretary of State's saying 85 to 90% in this state.
Now, typically on elections,
and that's a surprising
presidential elections, you have a bigger turnout anyway.
Usually it's like 65 for a presidential, but they're saying 85.
Yeah, and this year could be really big.
Yep.
And not just in our state, obviously, but across the country. So I just read, or I heard on the news this morning, Puerto Rico's voting again on statehood today.
Yeah, non-binding. Another non-binding one.
And that they voted or this will be the 3rd time in the decade that the people of Puerto Rico have voted. So the other 2 times, I guess they voted it down. We'll see what happens today.
That gives me a great segue.
Okay. Here we go.
The Puerto Rican flag was raised this past weekend.
Oh, stepped into that one.
Nice.
All right. So we have had many flags hoisted, including, first time an LGBTQ flag recently.
Yeah, their pride
the
flag.
Polish flag has flown.
Mm-hmm.
How does someone or some group go about getting a flag raised?
Typically, they would contact the mayor's office.
Okay.
And they'd have to be in
I
some
had a
way,
feeling.
some way associated with the city of Westfield. Obviously, we want to make sure that they're community people that we do this for. But in the case of the Puerto Rican flag raising, we've been doing that for 25 years. This was Westfield Spanish American Association's, I think, 25th anniversary of doing the flag raising, and they always do it in November. We actually had a really big turnout, so there were people all over the front lawn of City Hall because we wanted to keep people separated, and people were wearing masks and things, and so it was a good event. It went quickly. We didn't keep people there too long, which is just as well because it started to rain. So the event on Sunday afternoon was very well done, very well planned. Agma Sweeney is the president of what do they call it? I call it Westfield Spanish American Association, but I think
WASA.
WASA. Yeah, I didn't want to say WASA or something, but yes. So they organized it really well. It was a good event, and then left from there and came over to the lawn at the front of the middle school because the Kiwanis Club did their annual Park of Honor, and if you drive by it, you'll see the American flags out on the front lawn, and they had a short dedication ceremony for that program. November Veterans Day. This is a tribute that they've done for the past couple of years to people who are first responders, police, fire, dispatchers, veterans, and you can actually purchase a flag and dedicate a flag to somebody, which many people did, and it looks really nice as you drive by. Actually, Ken, if you don't mind,
it's even lit up at night too.
It is. Yeah, they've got a big light right in the middle of it. That's
very
cool.
Yeah.
November 11th is Veterans Day. And although this year we will not be doing our annual Veterans Day parade in Westfield, there will be a brief ceremony at Parker Park.
Hey, Ken, what are you doing on the 11th? Me and Jay are already in.
I have a feeling you're going to tell me what I'm doing.
Yeah, me and Jay are already. We're going to stream it live on Channel 15.
It's going to be recorded.
No, we're going to stream it live. We're going to attempt to do it live. I got to talk to the tech center today, but I think I can shoot it across the south middle.
Get a microwave going across the street there for that?
Yeah, because they're on that day because the city is off.
We're going to have a microwave. Let's have a couple burritos and it'll be a good thing.
I'd like to try that. But they're off that the city is off that day, so they're doing upgrades, which could affect me doing it over a cell site or from the internet in. So we're going to try to come from the inside out. So we'll broadcast it that way. I got to work out the details with them.
Well, that's how we did the graduation. We shot a microwave right across the parking lot.
Correct. Yes. Yep. So that's in progress for that. So I got to contact them today and get that worked out.
So although we're not, I'm not supposed to invite a bunch of people because we don't want to have a huge gathering because of COVID and I don't want to run afoul of the governor. It's still Veterans Day, and I think that's important to observe. So, November 11th at 11 a.m. at Parker Park.
It was like what we did with Memorial Day. It was important, to at least get a recording of it so that people can watch it.
That's right.
Let's see, 9:43. I think I'm all set with my underwriters, aren't I?
Yeah, you go right to the top.
All right, good. Unless you need a breather. I've had you going since you sat down.
This is fine.
All right. Some things around town. Where are we at with Pete's Bridge?
The Coles Bridge. I think
took me a minute.
Oh, I knew exactly what Ken was talking about.
Yeah.
Because every day I get a nice resident of Westfield calling to ask that question.
Yeah.
So the state has awarded the contract to the company, and I, of course, off the top of my head, can't remember the contractor, but our city engineer, has already met with them and the Department of Transportation here at the state level, and Mass DOT oversees the bridges in the Commonwealth. So this project is technically a state project, but they're at the phase now where they're doing final permits. They're going to begin site clearing. You'll see some trees come down. You'll see some site work being prepped.
They passed the wetlands issue.
Yeah, there's actually, I mean, it's over a river, so you're going to be dealing with the River Protection Act and some wetland stuff, but they're aware of that, obviously. So, and this is actually not just a new bridge, but the bridge is going to be moved, so it's going to realign. Thanks, I couldn't think of the word. Realign the traffic pattern there at that intersection, which will be very nice. But the project is going to take a couple of years. It's starting now. You probably won't see shovel in the ground type of stuff with the bridge right away, but you will see site work. There's all the paperwork and permitting work that has to be done. As far as I know, according to our engineer, we're good.
And as far as we know, it's still safe to travel across.
Yeah, and DOT checks that now. It checks the bridge all the time
Even though all the heavy trucks still keep driving over.
Well, and that's the other thing. The police department and our truck team is supposed to be enforcing that. They can't catch them all.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't.
But what they do try to do is, if they find one particular truck company that's going over more frequently, they contact the company. And so it's not just that driver, but they contact the company and say, hey, look, this is the detour. This is the route you're supposed to take. We will find your drivers if you go over the bridge. And we want to try to preserve that while the new bridge is being built. Typically, the state inspects bridges every 2 years. If the bridge is on a watch list, it goes down to 1 year or more frequently. I know we have a lot of folks in Westfield who are amateur bridge engineers and want to get under there and check it out and see how bad it is and warn us how dangerous it is traveling over that bridge. But I put faith in the state DOT folks. None of us want to see anything happen to the bridge while the other bridge is being constructed.
Well, think about the detour that would be involved.
Oh my gosh, it would be a long one for sure.
Yeah,
but I was more concerned about anybody getting hurt with a bridge collapse or something. And the good news is, I think once that bridge is completed, we'll be pretty much done with bridges here in the city of Westfield. I mean, we're technically
what about Notre Dame? Weren't we looking at that one?
Well, Notre Dame Bridge is being inspected regularly because while Prochastic Hill was being worked on, Drugstore Hill was being worked on, rather. The traffic was moved to Notre Dame Bridge, but that's in good shape. There's no problem with it. The bridge out on 187 on the way to Feeding Hills, that's probably going to be the very last bridge we deal with. And that's, again, another realignment of traffic because it's a sharp turn, it's a blind turn. So if folks are going over that bridge and not paying attention, they could, come right out into traffic in front of other cars. Of course, we spent lots of money on the Great River Bridge project and building the new bridge there. Horton's Bridge was replaced. So
I remember that was closed for several years.
It was, but that was more of
yeah.
it was closed because the bridge had lead paint, and they didn't want to pick it up and put it down somewhere because that site would then become contaminated, and they didn't want to work on it because they didn't want to drop the stuff into the river.
Yep.
So I remember that because we were very frustrated because the new bridge was ready to be built, but we couldn't get rid of the old bridge. And then somebody, I think, eventually bought it for a bike path footbridge somewhere. I think that's what I remember.
The old bridge they bought?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or the parts of it, like the banisters?
Maybe the pieces of it. That was a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly what happened to it. But it took, like Kathy said, I think like 4 years that road was closed.
Wasn't there a bridge up on, there was a bridge on Northwest Road, wasn't there? That they took out, and it was supposed to be some antique specially designed.
You know what? I was wrong. It's not the Hortons Bridge that down by the mill. It was that bridge.
Yeah, it was some special antique, wonderfully, beautifully.
It was kind of like almost like a one lane bridge. That was the one. Yeah, that was the one that they actually ended up taking.
Somebody took it, and and that was closed.
But that bridge is now new.
That was a long time. That bridge was closed. People had to go the other way. What road was that on? Is it?
No, you were right. It's on Northwest Road.
Is it Northwest?
Yeah, that's up in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the bike trail, if you follow these things, you've seen that they've been replacing the bridge spans with new bridges.
And the concrete work there is massive for a bike path.
Yeah. But the good news is that project is scheduled to be done next year in 2021, which will open up Westfield, our bike path pretty much from the Southwick border all the way to the Westfield River and over the Westfield River. And then you'll turn around there, or you can ride out along the Dyke Trail along the river. But that project will bring in a lot of people who will come just to ride the Westfield Trail or walk or, jog or whatever they do on the Columbia Greenway. But I'm hopeful that the businesses will take advantage of, this new influx of people, as well as the local folks who are living here, using that bridge, or I'm sorry, using that trail, because we'll have a lot of new people who come up to, take photographs, to walk, to take the view. We have a great elevated trail, unlike most others. Most others, you'd think of it, it was a train track, right? So you're tending to be either really flat or even in the bottom of like a V. In this case, you're up at the top of a elevated trail that runs right through the city. Think of all the.
They said it's one of the few in the country.
Yeah, the High Line in New York is the other one on the East Coast here. But think about the steeples of St. Mary's, the steeples of Holy Trinity, the bridge, the rooftops of the businesses downtown. Think of the view. Think of what you have a chance to see. It's just very different from any place else. So
even the Westfield River Walkway.
That's
going
lovely.
In.
It is lovely.
The whole area would be nice.
It's cool going on a bridge over a river, but to follow along the side of one for a little while, that doesn't happen everywhere either.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety. We'll have you'll have the urban views, and then you'll have the very, peaceful river views, and I really suspect that will bring people into our town, into the downtown. It will give a little shot in the arm to the businesses down there if they know how to take advantage of that. Like even Southwick with their rail trail, they've had a few small businesses pop up where you can get off the trail and stop and get a tube, get some air for your bike. You can stop and have coffee or food, and then get back on the trail and continue on. And so that's good for us. It'll be good for our downtown, and it will be completed next year. So I always like to see projects completed so that we can focus then on the next big thing.
Speaking of next big things, road construction is always a big thing here in town. Road construction season pretty much over for us right now.
Yeah, we're in November now. We'll see the paving plants buttoned up. I should actually say this. We should say goodbye and thank you to Dave Billups, who was our DPW director, and he just retired. So Dave's last day was a couple of days ago. We're in the process now as a city of hiring a replacement for that position. So we'll have a new DPW director that oversees the park department, the water department, the DPW. So it's a massive position.
And is all the language for that posting all set now?
Yeah, it is finally done.
I believe that's been approved, yeah.
Yeah, because the job description had to be approved by the council. If we have a second, just talk about some other positions. Yesterday, the new city auditor began. So we have a new auditor in Westfield. That position was hired by the city council. We have a meeting actually this afternoon to start going over preparing the tax rate and setting the taxes for next year. That's you need the auditor to do that. So we are meeting today. Personnel director position has been vacant since July, and so we're very close to offering a candidate that position, and then of course the council will approve. So that's my hiring decision, and then the council approves. Hopefully, will approve that person. So we're working on filling some of the vacancies. Steve Malakleb, who was our new emergency management director, was just hired a month or so ago to replace Jimmy Wiggs, who retired. So there's been a lot of turnover this year in 2020 and a lot of changes in City Hall. And those positions we're working on filling them and building a team to go forward for the city of Westfield. So that's exciting. It's keeping us busy, but it's good to have. And I'm excited to be working with these new people because I think they bring a new energy and perspective to our city, and they'll work very well with the current staff as well.
Just quickly on this one, because then I have to get to your dad joke, which I hope you come up with.
Okay. I pull out my phone where I keep a couple of cheaters.
Yeah.
A couple of dad jokes.
Now, are we seeing any funding coming in from the state for things?
Not
or are
yet.
they still doing a 112 budget?
Well, so we are seeing funding. We've actually been recipients of numerous grants, which are great. But you can't plan on grants. Grants are nice to have for specific purposes, and they may, I've heard Mayor Dominic Sarno say this, it helps to plug some of the gaps, but we're still waiting for the local aid that we would normally receive from the Commonwealth in July, and that hasn't happened yet. So, and also the Department of Revenue is going to certify our free cash, which typically happens in November. So We're still going sort of on a month-by-month basis. Standard & Poor's, we recently did a bond sale, and not a sale, but we reauthorized. I forget the right word. Matt Barnes would tell me what it was, but we kind of refinanced some of our bonds that the city had.
Reissued?
No, it's a refinance. So we actually saved money on the interest, and so over the next 10 years or so, thanks to the treasurer and his staff, we're going to save about $1.9 million in interest.
That's real money, man.
It's real money, even though it's spread over the course of a decade, but it's still real money. So that's good news as well for us. It's like money that we don't have to spend on interest. But we're waiting for the money to come from the Commonwealth, and that local aid goes to our schools and goes to the general government and pays for stuff like police and fire and trash and senior center and all the other things that we do.
And now, Westfield Community Programming Channel 15 presents Mayor Don Hummason's Dad Joke of the Week.
The floor is yours.
Good luck with that, Don.
All right. Under the wire here.
Yeah.
Two guys were walking, and one asked, "What's a whale weigh?" So the other guy says, "It's a twack for twains." Ba-dum-bum.
Oh, that
What's
was,
a whale weigh? It's a
yeah.
twack for twains. Come on, that's very, very.
That
that's bad.
that was terrible.
Didn't like that either.
Oh.
Actually, I did like it. I thought it was funny. Quinn didn't like it, but I wrote it down just in case I had the chance to tell it. Here's a good one.
Okay.
Again, I think it's a good one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Nobody.
Nobody who?
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm here all week. Try the wheel. Hey, you got to laugh somehow, even if it's a dumb joke.
So, I'm not.
Happy people are healthy people.
That's right.
I'm not going to ask who you were voting for. That would be improper and just not a righteous thing to do.
We're trying to teach Quinn about that too. It's a personal choice. You decide. You don't have to tell people. You can certainly if you want to, but it's your choice. And in America, nobody can tell you who to vote for or can make you tell who you're voting for.
Right.
Right.
Having said all that, do you care to take a stab at a prediction for the federal election?
I'll tell you that 4 years ago, Westfield went for Donald Trump.
Yes, they did.
I don't think that will change this time. I expect that Westfield will go for Donald Trump again. I expect Southwick will, maybe Chicopee, Agawam. I don't think. I think many of the same communities that voted for the president last time will do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the numbers will be. I think there'll be more voters this time. So,
what do you think the result will be? And we know that it's going to be weeks and weeks and weeks.
I don't think it's going to be weeks. I think it might be a week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially since the rules have changed this year with again because of absentee balloting and making it convenient for voters. I don't like the idea though that votes that are received a week from now still get counted. I always believed that votes had to be in by election day. That was sort
I
of
thought
how I
every state that I saw that was they were trying to change the rules last minute. The judges are like, nope, the rules are set. When you mailed out the ballots, they have to stay that way. They have to be in by. They can be counted afterwards, but they have to be in by election day.
Okay.
Whether you drop it off in person, but with all the stuff, all the media attention about the mail service and stuff like that. If you mailed it in and you mailed it in late, that's your own fault at this point because you know that the mail service is slow. The media made a very good point very early on saying, hey, the mail service has slowed down in recent years. You really got to get this stuff done. And if you drop it at the last minute, that's your own fault at this point.
Yeah, it didn't have to be postmarked by election
Right.
day. That was always the case.
Yep.
You had to at least prove that your mail was postmarked by that date because there's got to be a day. There's got to be a drop-dead date for the election.
Otherwise, you're moving the goalposts. Oh, wait a minute. We've been doing that during COVID.
Yeah. So regardless of who wins and who you vote for, I'm okay with it because I hate everybody the same. I hate everyone equally.
And guess what? We all still have to get up tomorrow morning,
right?
Do our jobs, pay every tax you pay every single day and every single week and every single year, It doesn't change. But you know what I want to really make a pitch for? Please keep voting in local elections, in state elections.
Yeah, that's the big one.
In non-federal elections, please keep voting. Because my dad's rule of thumb, if you don't vote, you're not allowed to complain about government, period.
Excellent. Mayor Humison, I want to thank you for coming in and joining us this morning.
Thank you,
Pete.
Mayor.
Thanks, Kathy.
All right.
Good morning, everybody.
Even for those jokes.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
Next week, Hope Tremblay from the paper.
Okay.
2 weeks from now, Chef John Slattery. That's all I have time for. I'll catch you next time.